whatever it is, wherever you are. So we've got this mess. I've got a couple of ideas of things we can try. One would be to have some sort of root node connected to the God nodes and see if that works better with this ring algorithm. Or maybe we just don't do the ring algorithm at all, which I guess it'd be easier to switch before we do that. And that went in here. So we have radial and we have circular. Do they do the same thing? Maybe with this kind of graph they do the same thing? Yeah, pretty much. Let's see, so those two are for undirected graphs, which I don't know if makes that big a difference. Now these, yeah, if we do some spacing parameters, we might get some better results out of these. I have to find the parameters for these graphs, although it still looks like, then that's Poseidon and that's Demeter. So we have slightly better God locality with this. What were the parameters we were using? Rank sep. So rank sep doesn't apply to this. I think the gallery tends to be fairly nice for things like this. We need a large... Let's see, so those are linear, those are linear. That's kind of linear dependency. Oops. It's called siblings. Yeah, family tree. That's more of a arbitrary network? That's cluster relations, which requires an additional program to do the background, even though it might kind of make sense. Undirected. Yeah, so these are the kind of things we're looking at right now. I don't know if any of these are using like length specifiers. Node. Yeah, it's all kind of auto layout. So we need straight up documentation. Is there any kind of like C other on this? In dot. In 2pi. The inner first circle. Okay. No, no C other. Bounding box. Cluster mode. Oh, that reminds me. Is there a the Hades graphs have the thing where it all goes down to one line and then like a cross? I don't know if I've ever seen a sample like that here. I mean, there's kind of a large fan in, but this is a very, very ordered thing again. We're gonna like sort of do sharp angles on the arrows. Not dot. Margin used around polygons for purposes of spline edge routing. That's STP FTP. Like a temperature thing. Spring constant. Which one did we use? It was Nito. Now these are undirected. Oh, maybe you need some spring constant. Jeez. Oh. Triangulation library. Now, why did we get a constrained to two non-comparable clusters? Oh. So you actually do something with clusters. Well, that's going to be interesting to do because that's just an edge, basically. So it's actually an error because this version wasn't built with some library. Okay. So there is some randomness in this because that was slightly better, but we need to find something that works in Nito. We've got circular, we've got big grat, scarified tree map, no. Labels. Preferred edge length in inches. This is for edges only, so I have to do that on a case-by-case basis. Margin, let's get a node attribute. We need something like a graph attribute that affects typical separation. Circo only. Node sup. The minimum space between loops on a single node or multi-edges, two adjacent nodes in the same rank. prism? Dot only, 2 pi dot only. Scale? That's gotta be the entire thing, right? Not dot. And removing node overlap, a minimal non-zero distance between nodes. Default is +4. Nope, I'm not really seeing too much effect from that. Weight of an edge. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is specifically Nito at the moment. Nito guide. Drawing options, adjusting layouts. Edge lengths and widths. I guess I could do manual attributes. Len equals 2. So these are the relevant attributes. Node attributes, edge attributes. Strength for edge spring. We do some of that to try and keep the, well, the gods kind of together. Preferred length. Let's make the preferred length of all of them bigger. Kind of an annoying way to do it. Graph attributes. Oh, you can seed it. False or scale? Okay. That is a very militant false. If I had some better control over that, it might be okay. Because that's like too much. Yeah, that's like some unused requirement node. Oh no, oh wait, those are going out, that's coming back in. So that's unfortunate. That's almost okay. And here we got some kind of, well, these got kind of mixed up with each other. Yeah, so if we could scale the separation of that mode, it might not be too bad. All right, so if that's the best that can do, oh, or does that also affect that graph? Yeah, it does seem to affect it. I wonder if that's overlap of edges. So we still have this thing where is that Demeter? That's Poseidon now is in the middle. All right, so we made we put the god inside their subgraph. Well, these things don't even use subgraphs, do they? That seems like it has a lot more crossings, but we were definitely getting some of that before. Of course, some of this is just it's a little bit random every time. All right, so we need an additional iteration, and we've got a slightly smaller one down here that goes straight to that stuff. So that would be that thing itself. Let's still do the edge to it. So that, just by itself, is going to put them in a different source order. Didn't actually change that much. And let's see. This could almost be an invisible node. And then where are we doing? We do God to there in Viz. So this is start to God. Yeah, we still got a lot of random stuff in the middle. Well, you sort of see them pulled into the middle a little bit. Ah, it ended up over here. No, that's too much. I wonder... Dot language. This is documentation. For interfaces. I don't know where to get the reference to like these things. If there's guides for the other ones. Ranks up. Ranked-er. Is there a thing that's just like... Can we set the... Well, there's rank equals same, I think. Or at least there is in dot. Dot only, yeah. I mean, that sounds like it could be a big project. Oh, that pulled Hermes in a little bit. Looks like I gave some interesting leveling gravity to that, so it's not entirely bad. I wonder if Circuit 1 and 2Pi have different effects now. It's hard to tell if it's what's the seed and what's the graph layout. It just slightly bothers me that one thing ends up in the middle. I also don't have any good way to keep these things from like jumping across. I mean, maybe there's some sort of weight modifier. Heavier the weight, the shorter, straighter, more vertical the edge is. Indicates the edge should not be used in constructing a spanning tree. Okay. Okay, so 2 pi uses that differently. The edge length closer to that specified by the len. So we could try doing 2 pi and taking some edges out. So specifically these duo things. Oh, but it's just a join key, isn't it? Says the god traits themselves. Maybe all join key edges need to be lower weight? Okay, so this is the join to the 2-get. Maybe that needs to be lower rate. Creates a disconnected component. Oh. Well, that's completely broken. That's pretty standard, I think. And that, I think, should be the opposite effect of what we want. So that's ruck to join. Maybe I need to do weight the other way. I guess that ends up affecting all joins, even these. Not just the duos. So maybe what we have to do... But they can... Just from the join to the 2-get... Maybe I need to pass that as an argument? So for the duos, we can do something different? Okay, so this is the basic ones. And for duos, can we actually do 0? Nope, it's all just one giant thing. The documentation is wrong. Still doesn't change this much. I wonder if that's just like one of the less connected gods? We do seem to have somewhat better locality of the individual gods. They're not as mixed up without the duos dragging things around as much. We still get some of these weird things. And a straight up Zeus trait over here. Maybe it's getting kind of dragged that way by something else. Alright, so if we're doing single god joins. No. Doesn't really seem to change much. I wonder if there a description of how 2pi works. Oh, no, wait a minute. You're a file name. Nope. Thank you. Oh, theory and publications, maybe? Publications, stress majorization, dots algorithm, circular layouts, SDFP, edge routing, Veroni no overlap removal, displaying graphs as maps. And none of these are like specifically like how to think about like 2pi or Circo. I mean, some of the algorithms might be in here. It's just not like here's this method and here's how to think about it. Lots of web stuff. Network tools. Hmm. I don't know how to keep this stuff on the outer edge like the others are. Or alternately say that these things, some of these shouldn't necessarily be like on the edge. This almost seems like a spiral. Is this between these two? Not really different. Have the weights changed? This honey. Oh, do I have a line for that? Yes. Although this made it too big. I'm not sure how to scale that. Although do you affect that? No, not really. So that looks like the Hermes stuff? Yeah. Yes, we got the Zeus specific branch. We've got, it's probably Aries specific, with a few little leaks. I'm not sure what this stuff's about. Poseidon picked up Poseidon boon trait, and that bounces over to here. Well, it's kind of a bounce back requirements wise. Oh right, these are undirected algorithms. Look, maybe make it a little bit. Oh, this is actually, other than this being a Poseidon trait, these are like an independent tree. It'd take a lot of zooming in, or maybe this is where I just make all the nodes bigger. There has to be some way to adjust the scale of this, right? Do I change the len of all the edges? All right, so is this even, this even seem to be affected by the weight? The requirement to the join condition. Oh, that does make it a little bit denser, doesn't it? But those are not necessarily the ones that I want to reduce the weight of. Join key. Oh, and then those were like 0.1. Well, that's still super spread out. Hmm. If anything, I think I want those join key ones to be higher yet. Or maybe having fewer constraints is what allows it to be tighter. Maybe what I actually need to do is try and adjust length. N equals 1. This would kind of be an inverse of weight. Like we don't do 0. Okay. That might be a little bit much. Okay, so that's also pushing the duos out. So we've got some of the single traits then going in. All right, so we're keeping some of the combos nearby, which if you wanted to turn this into a more sensible drawing like the other ones we've seen, you'd probably do something like that. And these got pushed out, which kind of pushes everything towards the outer edge there. And you just get some very, very long lines to the duos. Which, if you think of it as basics with all their arrows of combos to the local requirements for upgrades. Maybe continuing to go out for duos would make sense. You just have some really, really long routes. I was thinking it might be a, well, if I repeat those arrows, which many of them are going to be, well, some of them are going to be for duos only. If I had some way to identify duo boons, which are mostly going to follow if it's a one of or a multi of, I'm wondering if it'd be useful to provide some gravity to like a duo boons node to kind of bring them together. All right, so join key. Can I really bring those in? Okay, that does kind of make all their basic things cluster up a little bit, I guess. Makes it a little bit less of an outward structure and more about these tight clusters around what would be all the join conditions. Although running the duos kind of around the edges, it's like it can often find a way that's not too bad for most of them. And probably the other ones kind of end up in the middle. Now, does the len... Oh no, it's a len attribute. FDP and Nito only, so it doesn't work for the Circo thing. Didn't I run across something that was either 2Pi or Circo rank sep? Root. Gives the name of the node. Okay. The central node. I don't know if that actually will change anything, because we did make it the first one. I think this was an attribute for that, and then... Oh! It does seem to be influenced by probably maybe the overlap. Maybe just getting the spanning tree right is... Now, I don't know if it's being influenced by all the weight stuff we've been doing, but this is definitely a different graph. Some kind of... There's definitely something different here. But I think, yeah, actually, it was doing something different to determine the start of the tree. So actually having that start node gave more of what we want. And I did want to do something about these join nodes. They're still a little bit too big. So a join... What did the, what did that one example do? Probably just like size and shape. Shape equals diamond, height and width. I don't even care about the shape that much. Oh, are these supposed to be comma separated? I mean, seems to be doing fine with the spaces, but... So label, shape, style. I wish there was a numerical version of overlap. Because if you do scale, then everything is like super spread out, and then this is like super overlapped. Now, maybe I need to back off on like these weight things. Because we were getting more sensible spread before. Or did I have... No, rank sep's there. That's better. Actually, no, it doesn't seem like the wine weights are having any effect here. Those are all very evenly separated. Now, what does this do here? Doesn't seem that different. Well, I guess I could go the other way of trying to make all of these nodes huge to compensate, although I guess these are actually sort of close. But then as we go out, maybe it's being defined by the distance to these things. Oh. So that's rank sap. Maybe I can increase that to space it out? Which in turn leaves more space in the circle. But it's just kind of, you pick a scale. Now, I almost want to, well, if you collapse the entire thing, then you just have these things close again. So I've got an awkward point out there. Okay, so we're bringing together two partials into this duo. And that's just a crossing line. Wait, you have two miscellaneous join conditions from one god? Okay, well that's the secondary one. Wait, is that... Artemis ammo exit. The incoming arrow... Oh, that is a slightly displaced one. Oh, maybe that's one of those ones that can be on any god's cast modifier. So it just ends up really weirdly placed. So if we could make an manual list of those, maybe we could give those like... Well, it's going to end up somewhere in this algorithm. But that could be kind of kicked to the curb just about as far as layout concerns. Or almost put off to the side somewhere. So I still kind of want to do something different with duos. But this is like, wow. And I kind of wish Poseidon and Demeter weren't next to each other or had different colors. But I think, like, no matter what color I pick, it's just not good. Is my recollection of this before. And the other thing was that some gods didn't have some colors. So there's loot color and color. So we do use that twice. There's God, trait, and God. So we're using loot color right now. If we do that, we have Artemis. Yeah, these are very weird colors. So that one sort of fits, that one sort of fits, that sort of fits. That feels different. We get Poseidon and Demeter, but, well, then Demeter and Aphrodite have very similar colors. And, like, this is the same red regardless, so that doesn't get us good contrast. Yeah, even lighting color isn't that different. Subtitle color is a completely different thing. Oh, so that's if there's ever a voice that doesn't have the regular text box. What color is the subtitle in? Huh. Can I do the border, maybe? Is it border color? Oh. Style. I know the Ruby library I was using didn't support this. How do we specify the colors? Is a color list. Oh, or filled. Oh, these are kinds of gradients. Okay. But this is the color list format. This is used in gradients. Fill color equals, All right, so fill color equals blah, 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 blah. And I think that the loot color is maybe a better base color. Oh, that's with gradient. But this is just... It'd be great. Oh, gradient angle is the attribute. So it's going to default to 0. I mean, really, we'd want to use like icons or something, but in the meantime... Syntax error. Is this the problem I ran into? My version of dot doesn't support this? Oh, does it have to be all in the quotes? And they're doing a format without quotes. Well, can I get it without quotes? Nope. That means I would have to do this here. And probably my other colors references are going to need that too. Unfinished string. Wait, oh, Hades Lua. Oh, you were on the wrong side of the quote. Yeah, and there's that fill color. So Aphrodite, Athena. So still, this doesn't look anything like the colors she uses in game. Artemis, Zeus. Actually, I think I might want to switch. And Poseidon and Art. There's that. I actually want to switch those for primary, secondary. Which actually we can also do. Now I want a function for this color mode. Okay, so that's sufficient to distinguish Demeter and Poseidon. And not everybody has lighting color, I think. And the subtitle is like a whole other color mode. We could do fill color, but that should be fine. What did I do? Syntax error near invis. So we got quote, color, blah, 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 color. Fill color equals, oh, left the quote. We can also go down here, we got the other fill color, and make this God color. Oh. Right, because we had to include the quotes for the interim version. Oh, and then all the critical modifiers. Yeah, and then there's like, oh, because ammo gets pulled in by everybody else. So I guess you'd want to do some sort of weight modifier to at least put that by her. Of course, might be getting to the point where you just have to do everything manually, like all these arrow groups. And like, what is this stuff? It's like it goes over here and then whoa. And then it goes back. Well, okay, so that's a duo. That's the ammo, which really should get pulled over there. So some of those others, I'm not sure how you would easily identify the ones that were, others, so to speak. Might have to be some manual tweaking. And the things that are kind of in a group, might be able to look back to the other hand-drawn charts as a sort of starting baseline. You just have to figure out how to do the duos from there. And there's the odd one that's like two of, which I don't think is represented here. Yeah, a lot of text. This might be case sensitive. Still a lot of text. There's just so much text in the game. But I know it says at least two of somewhere. Or something to that effect of. I don't remember which ones that's on. And it might be some custom stuff for that trait. There's no two of. Trying to remember what it is. Because then you could go look up like other trait definitions. Trait data. Common rare epic. Change value. So many things. None of them seem to have like special prerequisites. So what is like so what is like the Zeus has the God gauge modifier stuff. So we have Zeus shout goes out to a whole bunch of things. Regenerating capped super goes off of any of them. And I don't see a whole lot of lines going in there. Actually, I guess it's one of the. Does it have a prereq trait? Not a prereq trait, perhaps. Regenerating super. Oh, it's a Hermes? Oh, oh, Hades shout. Okay, so can't get that one. Min multiplier. What, duos don't even have levels. Or if they do, they're not visible. Oh, those are by required slotted. So if I went into here and got required slotted, you could potentially represent that. For a preload super generation. Ah, it's the shop. Okay. Boon Zeus required slotted. Defensive super generation. There's an Athena one. Wait. 1.25, 0.5. Oh no, that is going up. Critical super generation. Maybe super generation is something different. Oh, these are the ones that trigger, like, when you have, like, after you have it. Like, every time you trigger. Hmm. Now, weren't there the Artemis cast modifier that keeps getting dragged out of place? Artemis ammo exit. Artemis. They shop? Required false traits. Blizzard orb. Ares. Ah, yeah, all the things that wouldn't really stick. It's required false. More ammo. Look, that's 3 1 from each sets. One of... Okay, and this explicitly lists all the gods. This is a completely standard one of. That just happens to mention a bunch of different gods. So you would have to say, okay, what do we think our god prefix is? And if we see one that's a different god prefix, then we like super low weight that edge. Or maybe they had to do something explicit for those couple of weird cases. It's like I think this one gets dragged over and then this thing gets dragged over. Oh, actually, this is a pre... Yeah, those two are going in. So that's part of a prereq to the more ammo trait. So this prereq set to that. Yeah, that one needs to be dealt with by exception. I think pretty much all of the white ones are duo boons. What they're duos of is semi-implicit. You have to kind of figure out who has each set of boons and then like color the groups. There's also the revenge damage thing. I think that's a duo boon, but I forget who it's based on. Senior's projectile auto retaliate. Oh, these are text lines. One from each set. And then there's like, I guess if it's mixed, we just do whatever. Yeah, that's just kind of a standard one of. But like this node should almost be like very, very low weight for placement. So we've got yours. We've got... That must be all the retaliate traits. And is that 2 incoming, or is that a prereq to something else? That's coming in there. Actually, no, yeah, this is Zeus, Ares, and a retaliate. Well, 2 of their things specifically because it's duo, and then one of those things. See, so that's for duo, that's for duo, that's for duo. That's like all of his mainline abilities. You've got a couple of unique sets. You've got your own kind of stuff, and that must be for the charm. Ranged bonus. Improved palm. Like all these slightly different combinations. It's even worse for Artemis. It happened to one of the charts I was looking at when I was looking at all the crazy combinations you get here. Okay, so she has like 3 combos in her own stuff. And then all kinds of different things for duos. So Dionysus has 3 different sets of things, some of which overlap with duos. Now, some of these could probably be thought of as secondary traits. Like things that do a bolt and bolt modifiers. That's probably number of bounces. So things that bounce. Athena has a ton of combos too. Backstab. Shield hit. Oh, this must be perfect, bring riposte and then auto shield. Whatever that's called. You've got, this is probably like Blade Rift and Doom. Maybe something else. Load Curse. So I think Curse is Doom. Yeah, and then this must be Blade Rift. Maybe that's Cast. Demeter. Yep, okay, yep. They're very, very special ranged. It looks like she has like two different. Oh, that's Zeus 0 ammo bonus. Oh, so this actually leads into that. Hmm. That's all the chill stacking stuff into the if it gets a 10% dead. There's some extra fishing stuff there. Yeah, so Poseidon's kind of got one thing. Hermes is kind of his own thing. Magnetism trait. I don't remember that one. I think I've cleared his things, though, unless there's no prophecy for it. Auto reclaim, rapid cast. Those must be the two different versions for based on the different souls. This might be similar. Now, one thing you could do to maybe get some of this together would be to, if you could figure out which ones didn't have further prerequisites out here, you could kind of pull those into just a random little ring. Maybe if I give them different weights to, well, this is based on pure ranks. But that would be a way to, if you're doing more manual layout, to get some of this stuff out of the ring space. Just kind of have them be, yeah, those are just traits for these guys. So I don't know if the ring layout is strictly a order of entry thing. We took out the groups, but all right. So the gods. So we did Ares, Athena, Zeus, Dionysus, Artemis. Ares. Oh, no, that's Hermes. Ares, Athena, Zeus, Dionysus, Artemis. Yeah, so this is purely ordered based on how we entered it. So there's nothing in this layout that tells us anything about which gods like are similar to each other or have lots of canonicence in terms of, well, they mostly just have one duo boon each, maybe. We would have to go back to here and do something more like this. And what did I have to do to you? Well, we did the super spread, which there's got to be some way to make that not quite so crazy. So that says maybe Aries should be near Demeter. I mean, they're all going to be kind of even, so I don't know if that actually has that big a difference. Zeus, well, those are just random things. Zeus might be near Aphrodite. Poseidon might be near Aphrodite. Aphrodite and Artemis. We've got Athena, kind of in the middle. And maybe that's because of that boon. Yeah, Athena and Zeus have the boon that kind of interacts with all of the God Gauge stuff, and then she does um, all of the cast things. That's probably Hermes, who's completely independent. Yes, because of the gravity of these, it might be a little bit hard to tell what's what. Now, what I might be able to do to make that a little bit clearer. Oh, we know that there was height and width. What did I do for the Ruby family trees? I thought that was just like a... Oh, maybe it was just font size. Yeah, just font size was for node size, which maybe that would help some of these things, but it's also trying to keep them apart. So the God starter. I don't know what our baseline is. Okay, so that... Did this affect the layout itself? Maybe they get a really big berth and they're trying to avoid the overlap. Yeah, Zeus and Athena. Kinda central. Got Aphrodite out there, Artemis. Demeter. Yeah, Demeter and Ares seem to end up close. Hermes, whatever. I could almost take him out for purposes of laying out everybody else. Just like say, yeah, should we skip that one? Or maybe just not give him an edge to start so he can be laid out fully independently. If actually, if not equal, okay, so it's not thought. What is not equal? Reference manual. I'm not sure which version they're using. Do they have operators? Relational operators. Tilde. Yeah, so now Hermes is his own little tree. I'm not sure what that'll do in like a 2π, but I might actually have to remove it there. So we've got Zeus and Athena as central because of those common talents. Ares, oh, Ares used to be near Demeter, so it's somewhat random. There's a bunch of Aphrodite over by Poseidon. Well, this is Aphrodite, so actually Poseidon node kind of ends up over here, I guess. I think we've seen Dionysus kind of near Ares. We saw him near Demeter a little bit. Athena and Zeus are a little out of place because they're super shared trait things, so it's kind of hard to tell. Aphrodite, Poseidon. I mean, they all interconnect to some extent. I've never actually checked if there's a duo for every combination, but you'd need more of a table layout for that. Now, what does the orphaned Hermes do? I think I saw... Yep, got his own little layout. Oh, which actually lets this thing be a little bit tighter, I think. Oh, and these are also larger, which I don't know, that makes a big difference. Oh, so actually this might be ordering again. So it might be kind of arbitrary. Oh, did this layout fix the... Yeah, ammo exit. So I guess we could always try to find a seed that worked well. It'd be nice if I could do something a little more systematic with the duos. Like I almost want to say if there's some way I could like force them into a farther out rank. Although with this algorithm, I don't know if I can do that. Rebounding Athena cast. Oh, so this is a single, yeah, cast, and then Got a peer dependency over there. So I guess, oh, this might be things go on the smallest tier they can. So if we think all the duo boons are that 1 second pass we do, and we've got some things that actually have that. We'd have to go start to God to basic to prereqs to secondary to join to duo. So let's see if we can. We have to define. We don't have to. We don't have to define the node. Let's see. So that's the set to get. That's probably. Ooh. Syntax error. Okay, didn't like that. Why didn't it like that? This is a dot syntax error. Is that a name? No. Oop. .404. Oh no, we had a program error. And then we print out as much as we got up until that point. How about we actually do it this way? It's so weird that we get that. Partial error. That partial print error. There we go. Global join. We assigned it right here. Oh, maybe this doesn't return anymore because we stopped using it that way. Yeah. And now I might not be printing anything. And then there is duo. Wait, why does duo connect to the requisites? Yeah, this is not the correct arrow. Okay, so that is a right ugly mess. Awkward, well, then we define this as having a certain rank. start to God to basic to basic join to advanced to advanced join to duo. Okay, so there's that line, and decides to ignore that edge. I might have to do... Maybe because there's more edges, it gave that more rank. Yeah, so that didn't push things out any. That actually went backwards. Oh, because it could take the minimum, and all of those things have a minimum to get to duo. Hmm. Does that mean I have to push out all the duos? Well, no, we still have something like this. We just have to go... we actually have to link the prereqs to duo. Yeah, that doesn't quite work, does it? It's like every boon would have to have like the intermediate step. And it's sort of useful to point at all of them. I think we have to have it taking the minimum path. We have to somehow like normalize the path to duo boons to get them in their own ring. Hmm. Now I'm wondering with that extra start node and stuff, how bad would dot be? No, it was pretty ugly before. And there you can do like rank assignments and things. And it has actually gotten a little bit better. We still have some displacements. I could put the subgraphs back now. Isn't that Dionysus got pushed all the way down? Oop. We took you out. Come to think of it, we've pretty much taken this out by now. Why is Dionysus down? I guess because of how he interacts with some other people. Oh, okay. So this is some of the fishing and outside of stuff. So this puts all the duos like into the outside area. The lines are not great, but this could be some further. Oh, okay. All of these things are outside. Oh no, some of them are in. Huh. I guess whenever they maybe involve stuff outside. No, you don't involve any stuff outside of Dionysus. Maybe because they go to some place outside. Did these get defined in the wrong group? I mean, I should probably do like a rank equals same on the gods. So this would be a clearer setup for the types of graphs that currently exist. Although this is, I don't know what the heck's going on here. Oh, maybe these are only defined because of duo boons. So within, without. I wonder if it actually separates ones that would otherwise be the same. Well, we just don't generate them if they already exist. Hmm. That might be kind of useful for the. And we might have some. What are you making? I'm trying to make a sort of graphic that makes it easier to think about. Well, I guess the single gods have okay charts out there. Uh, they're not in any way interactive in terms of being able to see where you are in the progression. And there's the duo boons, which I mean, this is not necessarily helpful, but this is all an exercise in thinking about the problem and trying to get a sense of how everything shapes up. But I want a better. Oh, okay. So that separation was sort of useful. I mean, this is probably kind of sufficient, but the separation makes it easier to see stuff. Maybe it doesn't need to be quite so extreme for this one. Oh, maybe it does. Basically, being able to see when you're near to a duo boon or what it would take to get there, or even for the deeper specialized ones. And we got these like Poseidons over here. I wonder if that's a weird thing in the data. This might be approximately the right size for doing individual charts, which the individual charts exist. They're probably going to be some good inspiration on that front. Wait. Oh, so this is the meter only, but it's defined as a special legendary thing, so it's not inside the normal track. Huh, that one isn't. But Artemis, Poseidon, Zeus, Demeter. I know Athena has a legendary. Yeah, that's defined within her. Hmm. Vagaries in the data, I guess. How is that defined? One from each set. Maximum chill blast, maximum chill blast. Oh, this is how they define a two of, and then the game like cleans it up. Yeah, and it's only defined here. So it has to be one from each of these two, one from each of these two, one from each of these two. So if you have one of them, it will satisfy two of these conditions. So you have to have something one of these to do it. Okay. We could potentially identify that as well and do like some kind of different node that like joins those three things. And then all the weird Poseidon stuff, which has to be like fishing rod things, I think. Don't know why these are over here. This is a data issue. Was it Poseidon ranged? Or maybe they aren't. No, they're colored for Poseidon. Oh. Because that's a one of that crosses God boundaries. We normally assume that one ofs means it's the single god upgrades or legendaries or whatever. I mean, I could define some exceptions for those. Have them processed in the duo boon group. Maybe we had some weirdness with Zeus in the other ordering of things. Because of the God gauge stuff. So that explains why those may have been misordered a little bit sometimes. Okay, so that's jolted. Area, damage, bounces. I'm not sure what that translates to. Actually, if you look up the other charts, these are actually not the ones I was looking at before, but they're nice. Oh, that's one thing. Any splitting bolt. I don't remember what that is. Ah, strike twice. I probably don't get out there very often. Now, this doesn't represent the fact that the like the Heaven's Vengeance could be for any. It doesn't have many of the exceptions, although it looks very nice. Oh, and then they just wrote in the exception for that one because it's like, this one thing's different. I think these are out there as separate graphics too. Oh, any other Athena boon. I wonder if that only means basic or well, you have to have these to get those. It might be technically any, so it's like if you then purged one. Or any other call. That one lists it. Yeah, you're basically Doom Vortex split. Yeah, so these are very nicely laid out. It leaves out maybe some of the complexities. Like I know one of the ones I was looking at had a whole bunch of kind of overlays of. Maybe it was Zeus, because you've got this set, you've got this set, and you've got that set, and they did it by going left and right. So this might actually be an okay inspiration for like single god layout. So using the different directions. Let's see. So that could well, I don't think you can do these kind of joins with the nice lines. But you could do a fan in, fan out. Which, I mean, Where's Aphrodite? These ought to look somewhat similar. Yeah, fan in, fan out. Now, this one doesn't seem to be represented in that. It's way over here. This would be any of those two goes into that one. Which doesn't... and these could be from previous versions, too, because they went through a whole early access period. But I don't know what the public names this translate to, and I could probably figure that out. There's like boon data? No. We have an easier to spell one. Debug scripts, loot data, trait data. Oh yeah, this... Oh, this is data. This is not the display names. Yeah, this might be for an older version. Huh, okay. So, there's the legendary boons, which this doesn't have a graphic associated with it. Go to Aphrodite. What? Yeah, okay, unhealthy fixation is still shown as in there, but it is not only the two, so that must have been an old version thing. But that text doesn't... Maybe it's in, like, translation strings or something. In a different directory. That was a bigger set of directories than I thought. There's subtitles in multiple languages. Units, weapons, obstacles, projectiles. There might be like a traits or a boons. That one does have been a bad one to look at. Patch notes. Help text. Maybe it's just help text. ID equals charm trait. Display name unhealthy fixation. ID Artemis upgrade. Display name Artemis. Description goddess of the hunt. Okay. Yeah, so you'd have to do that one to do nice names for them. Which... This is an SJSON, which, I mean, I might be able to... this is a JSON with comments. So there's probably an SJSON loader in Hades proper, and maybe they're using a library for that. But that could end up being a problem for me trying to process this, where I need to find a tolerant JSON parser. Oh, this doesn't even have commas. It'd be nice to have the real names on things, but yeah. Maybe the game engine just loads? Meta upgrade data. Two string might. Yeah, that could even be some kind of like system function. Hmm. So that's not going to be easy. Has no requirements, doesn't have priority. Yeah, I haven't tried to identify priority at all. Range bonus, yes, that's the blown kiss. Yeah, so the other layouts do better at the one big chart thing. And the duos are just kind of a... I think we're using something really big to get that separated. Yeah, because these are still kind of squished. I'm probably going to have to do manual layout at some point. It'd be nice if I had like some data backup for that. But like developing tools to do that could be gnarly. Yeah, and like duo boon placement might just be a thing we have to look at. Now, if I start doing this style of thing, actually, has Zeus changed such that so there's that set, and this could have been done by going to another side. Well, that could still be a valid way to do that. Python, Go, Autodesk, succinct representation, Hades, SJSON string and C#. Purchase PDF. Fabulous. Maybe it's not even the same SJSON format. Lua-inspired syntax. Assume an object definition at the root level. Commas are optional. Yeah, there's actually their this is their own custom format. So we gotta do something better with these. Probably more along the line of this stuff. And that's gonna kind of have to be manual. It's like I almost want to build a tool for this, but I feel like it's gonna be a huge project. And actually, all these extra combos for the duos are going to be messy. It's relatively clean when you're only doing like 3 of them. But this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different combos. And there's even enough lines that it's kind of hard to see. I almost wonder if I have to go back to basic data. Now, one way to do this would be to make it a fully dynamic thing, where, assuming you could somehow get which traits you have, then it only shows the things that are available from there. Bonus bounce. Rush. Ranged is the cast. Yes, those are all the bouncy things. So some deep manual looking might uncover patterns similar to what we see in the hand-drawn graphs. I'm just trying to think about like what tool would I even use to lay that kind of stuff out. I've done a whole lot of drawing stuff. I wonder, is there something that can do attached lines at least? Well, we're going to have constraints. Actually, this might almost be, I might almost want to do just plain old paper sketching. Weren't there graphical interfaces? WYSIWYG. I don't. Now, are you just. Okay, yes. You take graphs and do some fancy processing on them. Oh, this is Mac only. I guess you have to do some sub-object editing. You certainly can't. I mean, it's a graph layout engine, so I guess you wouldn't necessarily expect to be able to move things around. Node format, edge format. Yeah. I mean, maybe different formats would let you do some input to the algorithm. And I might need to completely change tools. This is a relational data. I might need to look more into other types of graphing tools. If I just do paper sketches, I don't know how well it's going to stream. I guess I could point a camera at some paper. Let's see, this is a Poseidon thing. Double collision trait. Now, if I want to use the other char's inspiration, I'm going to have to figure out how to hook up the strings, though. And I don't see anything that is loading this. Using JSON with Lua. Yeah, it seems to be a custom thing. So I'm almost going to need like a custom parser. Well, there's got to be a JSON with comments, but the missing commas are going to mess everything up. Let's see, so that's shooting off to a duo. That must be shooting off to a duo. There's just no good place to put those. Except maybe in the center, which this algorithm really won't do. The other freeform layout would kind of do, but the actual God thing's gonna get all mixed up then. Is it? And that needs this to do anything sensible. The God, initial God trait. This is God to trait. Oh, that was very strong. Okay, now we're seeing some intermixing. So this might be actually a little bit closer to what we want. The duo is kind of just out there somewhere. This is where I almost need to increase the font size across the board. I wish there was a better way to scale the text size versus the separation distance. Maybe for this, the extra length we put on these is just too much. Let's just join node. Or did he retaliate? Oh, that's a singular ability. So that's interesting. These, if the distances were a little bit closer for some of this stuff, it might not be so bad. But you can at least sort of see where things are going. And then Ares had the kind of split thing. And there are some things that are like any of his abilities, I guess. Let's see, so for Ares abilities, this is probably Blade Rift and Doom. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's Retaliate. It's Retaliate. Hmm. All right, so the thing I need to do is to figure out how to read SJSON, and maybe I can ask on the Hades Discord if there's any tools for that. And then where's the graphic? Oh, big file again. Trait data? Weapon name. Okay, so we don't... Maybe there's just something that has the trait name somewhere. What is... Oh, no, retaliate weapon trait. I think that's one. Help text. I mean, I guess it could almost be defined in help text. That wouldn't change with language. Temporary. Hmm. So they've got these things defined as data. It has to be somewhere. I guess it could be in binary. Oh, that's S. Anyway. Uh, yeah, I don't think that's going to do it. Oh, all right, icon. Okay. And I think these are defined in like pack files or something. File path, which this might be like the path inside of a pack file. GUI. There's an SJSON. Yeah. Win. Maps? And there's bins, all right. Packages. Artemis upgrade. There's some manifests, which are also binary. I think people have worked out some stuff about how to do that, but it's not. Well, okay, so GUI animations tells you. No, trait data tells you the icon. And if you had file names with those, or the appropriate. But although some of this information, no. If you had to go to these kind of paths, you would need this SJSON file. Thank you. I've mostly been ignoring it lately, but I suppose one of these days it'll get long enough to bother me again. Although I'm actually thinking it's time to wrap up. I might need to do some research about how to tie an extra information source, and then I'm also not sure if I can continue to do automated things here, or if I'm going to have to do some manual layout stuff at some point. Anyway, thanks for dropping by. But I think I am reaching the limit of what I can kind of do in a reasonable stretch here. I need. Well, I probably need a break. I also need to do some research. Thanks for watching. Thanks for support from subscribers and everybody who hosted me. That's what I'm usually on. What do we got? Bye. Well, there's a charity stream. Looks like they're checking out Dino, which is an alternate to Node. I know that much. But other than that, I don't know much of anything. So for someplace cool to hang out, Sociable Steve is someplace cool to hang out. And thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.